Oh yeah. What up? Hello and good day to all of you. Hey, outside of Lil Romeo lookalike or doppelganger getting y'all all in the frenzy, we might as well talk about a little wrestling. And nostalgia is at an all-time high as we are fresh off of viewing the return of Saturday night's main event, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it, like nobody else in the world. So, because you've been waiting, it's time for the first Black Champ podcast. And I am still the pick. That is right. That's correct. Your podcast, Intercontinental Champion, Camp from the Port.
And I am J.R. Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barbershop Network, home of First Black Champ. Follow us at everything at the FBC Pod. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. You see Camp, go ahead and get that hoodie on. So go ahead and stay warm.
You did.
Throughout this winter. Who's the Bow Wow looking dude?
I don't know.
I've been about that early.
Yeah, like I'm fresh off the road, right? And this dude, again, I don't know who he is. I didn't recognize his chain. I don't know anything. What I do know is that he was basically saying, not even basically said, the man directly said, hey, it's about $800 for bottles now. So women, do me a favor. If you ain't busting down here, it's best to say you best to get from around here. And I was planning on letting them cook. You know what I'm saying? And I seen a few women, like a handful of women, reshare the post. That's how I seen it. And in the very first post, I asked, I was like, yo, is that Lil Romeo? And I haven't got a response yet. But yeah, apparently a dude is he's just like, basically he wants intercourse etiquette.
Oh.
He's on some like, yo, if I'm paying for the bottles, if me and the homies in the bottles and we paying for the section, we paying for the bottles, have sex with us or leave. You either got to be somebody we already hitting or somebody that want to get hit if you want to be over here. And I was like, oh, wow, that's way to up the ante with New Year's Eve right around the corner. But, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I let everybody cook. I let dozens of women on my timeline talk about how dudes better pay their bills or they better hit the Cash App, the Venmo, the Zelle, or just have cash in hand if they even want conversation constantly with them, if they want to have intercourse with them, if they want to, get kicked in the nuts while they have on furry handcuffs, everything. You can see a little bit of everything on my timeline if you're looking from my angle. That's what she said, or pause, whatever you're in or not into. But when I seen the post, I was just like, man, but that ain't like new. That ain't new at all. I want to say I recall a Chicago legend at a club, in a section one time, they're saying like, hey, we only want bust downs up here. So if you're not busting down, don't make your way to this rope. And I saw two young ladies on the way. They were like, hey, well, we busting down. It's y'all. I'm like, oh, I don't judge those young ladies. I wasn't upset. And I don't think people should be upset at this as well. So, but the internet is going to keep interneting. And since the days where Jocelyn told Stevie J she did not want to go back to the strip club, there has been this gender war going on at ignorant levels. So, what can you do? Happy Sunday.
Look, consent is the key word here.
Facts.
So if consent is there, then everything is fair.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
I can't get mad at that.
You want a drink?
Right. Over here, this is what we're looking for.
Yeah,
And we don't know you, so we're just letting you know what it is ahead of time. Hey, if anybody's on the internet saying anything differently than consensus key here, then hey, just,
Yeah. I
hey,
mean, hey, listen, man, you gotta know when you're fighting aimless battles. Just say that you not gonna go.
yeah.
Just say that you're not gonna go.
This
You know,
is this is not the avenue for me. That's okay. You
right? Like, hey,
stay over there.
he probably like, oh, bet, because I would hate to see you outside and
Yeah,
we see you walking towards us, and then there's
yeah.
awkward tension. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
hey, man. Look, consent is key here, ladies and gentlemen. And that's it. Like, so I
Yeah.
would like to see this little Romeo, this little Romeo fella, talk about this.
Yeah.
I will not. I mean, look, far be it to me, agree. I mean, hey, I ain't got to worry about that no more. But I love to hear the banter and to read the banter.
Oh
What's
yeah.
going on? Speaking of reading the banter, let's go ahead and get started. Saturday night's main event was last night
Mhm.
on NBC and Peacock. Shouts out to the people that watch it on Peacock and watch them huff ass commercials. And shouts out to the people who was like, yo, we're gonna go old school and look at network television. How is looking at network television as old school is like wow now.
Yeah, man.
It's,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
Cable ain't dead yet. And
Yes.
and well, and but here's my thing. I think they're gonna one of these companies are going to collaborate and they're gonna revamp cable, because if you're getting 10 to 12 apps to watch every single show, then you basically got cable again.
Nigga, YouTube TV just went up to $83.
Woo.
Yeah, I was thinking about heading on over there. Then I saw that price go up. And I was like, well, it's that same price as this bill I got. What's the point? There's no point. But yeah, NBC and Peacock last night. It's Saturday night's main event. And the show kicked off with Joe Tessitore and Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, man.
No matter how slow he walked over to that podium, it was good seeing Jesse the Body Ventura back on WWE television. Not gonna lie, the WWE attempted nostalgia, and in some parts they won. I can tell you one part that I text. Shouts out to A+. I had text him. The walkway was too small. One, it was just skinny as shit, and then two, the camera work. Lee Fitting, Triple H, I know y'all tried to do it yesterday, but you had to look at Saturday night's main event or just old WWF programming. That's what I felt like they were missing last night. The camera low, going ahead and walking up and getting straight up on like the Big Boss Man and the Keem or whatever as they're walking and stuff. I think they missed that part. I didn't need to see Gunther or Cody's, Titantron and stuff. They could have kept it with the W, and it would have been straight. The W in that backdrop was reminiscent of Raw, the Raw in the 90s WWE. But that walkway was like skinny as hell. Like that walkway ain't never been that skinny in the 80s, Jack. Like maybe that shit was like world-class championship wrestling skinny. But that was the one that I was like, okay, I see y'all trying to do it. It ain't hitting all the way. But then when seeing Jesse the Body Ventura, I was like, all right, and he's coming out. I felt like Jesse the Body Ventura wanted to go with the old school 80s slurs too.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. There were some moments where I felt he paused too long because he was like, oh, I could get this whole thing shut down with what I'm thinking right now. So
when he was talking about Liv Morgan, I was like, yeah, this gonna be his last time.
You know what I'm saying?
And
he was like, yo, in 85, I could have said, hey, this bimbo's pretty freaking hot. I wouldn't mind beating that to an oblivion.
Man, because he kept saying 40 years. Hey, 40 years.
You know what I'm saying?
40 years. And I was like, yeah, you wanna. Hey, remember, if you have watched any of the Saturday night's main event, I can't remember which one, but there's an episode of Saturday night's main event where Jesse the Body Ventura has a buckwheat shirt on.
Yeah.
It tells you everything you need to know right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Not saying that Jesse the Body Ventura is racist, because a buckwheat shirt in 1984 is not necessarily torn, like teetering the line.
Yeah.
When you got Eddie Murphy having a whole buckwheat skit on Saturday Night Live. But if you watch any Jesse the Body Ventura commentary, you know he could get down if needed. And he definitely had to pull back, like, I can't say that shit right there.
Yeah. And, not for nothing, man. I ain't gonna lie. Even when I seen the buckwheat shirt, when they of course in the replay, because in real time I'm not paying no attention. I'm also looking at this like, am I offended because it's buckwheat and a white man is wearing it? Because let nothing distract you from the fact, depending on how old the people that put you on the TV were, I was told the first American classic was the Little Rascals. And it was like, yo, but buckwheat was the star. So I've never been sure how to view buckwheat, because I've never heard black or white. Well, I've heard black people at time become more offended, but I've heard white people always enjoy it. And see, but that's the conversation we had about Urkel in the 80s and 90s. So I don't know how to feel about it. So I just try to calibrate and just watch. But his language, though, that's a different story.
Yeah. And again, you can tell Jesse the Body was just like, I can't say this in 2025. And then the fact that last time I saw Jesse the Body talk to somebody, Jesse was talking about how he lived on a reservation with no electricity outside of just trying to find out what's going on in the world. He don't watch no TV. He don't do none of that shit. So, and man, as far as I know, Jesse the Body Ventura could have just been coming out the cave and really wanted to be like 1984, 85 again. But you could tell that he was working on that. And for the times that he was on the TV, he did a great job. Like, he didn't miss a beat. So shouts out to Jesse the Body Ventura on returning back to WWE. This is it's not been 40 years since he's been on TV. It was 40 years, almost 40 years at the start of Saturday Night's Main Event. If you guys remember, Jesse Body Ventura is the reason why Sheamus is a world champ, because he wanted to get somebody that was new, didn't have a title shot, and he gave that chance. I think it was like a battle royal or whatever that Sheamus won, and they did that tables match that he ended up winning. So shouts out to that too. But the card, great card. Chelsea Green, Michin, United States Women's Championship.
Yeah, man.
Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn match. Liv Morgan, Io Sky, Gunther, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens. But before we go, let me also say this. And I've not been wrong on this. That WWE camera looks different. And when it really, really looks different? When it's on NBC. It felt good seeing the WWE back on NBC, back on network television. And it's good to see wrestling in that too. So shouts out to them on that.
For sure. For sure.
So with that being said, let's get into these matches.
Let's do it.
And let's get into the first match of the night, which was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. First of all, let me say this. Pause all on this, because I don't want it to come out wrong. But man, I be forgetting how big Drew McIntyre is compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I be forgetting that.
Yeah.
And when him and Sami Zayn was facing off, I was like, damn. Like, when did this nigga become mini Andre the Giant? Again, the cameras on network television look different. But great match between the two. Like we've always said, Sami Zayn can have a great match with a broom. Drew McIntyre, when he's a heel, he's always in his bag. And he was in his bag this night, and he beat Sami Zayn. What was your thoughts on the match? Because I know this was a late edition.
Yeah, and it's so interesting over 4 years now that Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre have mastered their matches together, the Tom and Jerry kind of cat and mouse game, but also being able to switch sides. Like during the pandemic, Drew was the face and Sami was the heel, and they were on the hunt, and the quest was the Intercontinental title, I believe, at that time. And then there's the whole bloodline mix, and they're both kind of tweeners at that point. And then now you got seemingly face Sami Zayn, and now while they're trying to turn Drew McIntyre heel, it's interesting to say this for me, but I am going to stand on this. I think that we have still yet to see the best of Drew versus Sami, and usually I'm not one for these types of rivalries or constant back and forth. But I do think that there is just a bigger quest for them. I think their chemistry and their work together is WrestleMania ready, and I now would like to see it for a major title at WrestleMania, at the granddaddy of them all, because they just don't disappoint. No matter who wins or loses, for me personally, you just can't go wrong with Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, what makes this interesting is who is going to be next up for Drew McIntyre. Because right now it's looking like a 3-on-1. Really, it's just looking like a 3-on-1. When you look at all of this, you have Sami Zayn, he defeated but jumped. And he jumped the Usos. I mean, all of them go jump Drew McIntyre?
No, I think it's this is bounty killer Drew McIntyre, and I think one by one he on his Dean, and I think that this is like the how the Power Book exists, and then there's like Kanan, and then like Ghost. Even though I haven't seen any of these, I just hear about y'all talk about it, so I've never seen Power. So that's as deep as I'm gonna go on the reference area, right? But this is like Drew McIntyre's own season, and now in his season, his character development, they're gonna show you how after the dust settled, he took out the entire bloodline. He took out the OG bloodline, all to get back to Roman, which with the people that he has to go through, it'll take him a year. I could see a world where there's a Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre Hell in the Cell, maybe in like a September, October of 25. But yeah, that's what I think is going to happen, because I mean, based on Jimmy SmackDown promo, ain't no more Usos, ain't no more OG bloodline, and he got to figure it out as soon as he heals. So I'm going to take him at his word, because Drew got on his ass instantly. And he's like, oh, bet. Ain't nobody here for you either? Bet.
Right.
And you're next.
That's what made that all interesting, because it's like, basically Jimmy said all this shit is dead, and Drew McIntyre was like, not to me. Not yet.
Right.
I'm on all y'all ass.
Yep.
But it's funny, and that's why I kind of led with how big Drew McIntyre is because it's like, pause, because it's like, fam, like y'all gonna have to jump dude at this point.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nothing scarier than a mad Drew McIntyre. I don't know if you saw the clip of him on Busted Open. And he was basically saying fuck the fans through the mic. And of course, we know that's an act. But when you're looking at the clip, it's like, yeah, it's an act, but Yeah, I don't want him to be like that in real life. Like, I don't want him to be like that in real life. And then when you go back to when we first saw Drew McIntyre, it's like this Drew McIntyre is way more solid than what we dealing with right now. Like I want to know the hit list that Drew McIntyre has. Drew McIntyre now reminds me of Buddy Ass from what's that? I think it's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi when he had the list.
Yeah. And then you got the apology.
Yeah.
So he crossed dude out like, you know what? Hey, I ain't gonna try to kill you no more.
I ain't gonna try to kill you. You straight. All right, we good. All I was waiting on. Not Happy Gilmore.
But Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore,
Billy Madison.
It's the same
shit.
movie, right?
Same shit. But yeah, Drew McIntyre reminds me of that, except we don't know what this dude list is. Because at this point, Drew McIntyre could be mad at everybody. But Central is the bloodline, but he can make some side quests.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, Solo's in this too, by the way. Hey, Solo think he dodging it. Nah, fam. You're the original one that cost me the title. It's like, I'm on your ass. Like, nah. Yeah. So, hey, I think Drew McIntyre is going to get the entire OG bloodline. That's so Uso, Sammy, and Solo, and Roman. He coming back. He doubling back.
Okay. I have a question that I'm going to pose a little bit later because I didn't think about it until you just said it. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the United States Women's Championship. Yeah. First of all, glad to say we were wrong.
Yeah, facts.
I am glad to say we was wrong. Soon as we saw the matchups on SmackDown, we was like, the WWE might WWE this shit and put the bigger names against each other. But no, Chelsea Green versus Michin in a good match.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, in a good match, great spot to end it. Chelsea Green, your new first time ever WWE United States Women's Champion. We ain't got to go on to get the WWE get this right, because as soon as that belt was announced, we said Chelsea Green deserves it. And we see that Triple H and the crew believed this as well.
Yeah.
Were you shocked that both women won clean on SmackDown to get to this match?
To be real, yeah. Absolutely. Especially well, no, not especially either one, but yeah, both of them. Honestly, I didn't expect Michin to get this far, but I guess she does have a very big following that may not translate on TV well, but IWC, they love her to death. I think backstage she's loved very well as well. The clean win on Bayley, you know what? In hindsight, I should have picked that because that's who Bayley is. Bayley is the, hey, you want to get over on somebody? I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of been her role in ring since Natty has taken the more behind the scenes role. So I should have, you know what? The way they were billing or booking Chelsea Green, I never really expected to win clean. I just expected to win. Like I just wanted to win. That's it. So she's one of those people for me that it don't matter if she win clean or not. But I was shocked, but pleasantly surprised to see that boom, 2 clean victories, and they're to the finals and then to the title.
Yeah, I was shocked at the cleanness against Bayley, because if you got somebody, as your manager, as your side, it's like, yo, help me win this match. But I think it translated good going over the Saturday night's main event. That match was pretty clean. I guess you could count some of the Piper Niven stuff up in there. But the right person won it. Now that Chelsea Green has it, what face should be the first person on deck to challenge Chelsea Green for the title?
I mean, shoot, not for nothing, Bailey. You know, unless they got something else for Bailey to do. And I say Bailey because one, she lost in the semis, or the quarter final. I don't know how it go. I'm sorry,
Semis,
but
it was semis.
Yeah, semis. Okay, and then and also because I think with unveiling new titles in general, unless it's like the 24/7 title, I think wrestling does still matter. And who better for Chelsea Green to have some great wrestling moments with other than Bailey right now, especially as far as the SmackDown roster goes. And also Bailey because she's going to do a greater job of putting her over versus Bianca Belair. And not that Bianca Belair could not. It's just that the vibe is, and the vibe that we're not afraid of too, by the way, and we don't dislike yet anyway as a collective, is that Bianca Belair, title on the line, we want her to dominate. We want her to get that belt. You know, it's not the same stigma that comes with Charlotte Flair. Because like we like people cheer like, oh my God, I can't believe she won again. But it's like we don't care. Bailey is in that sweet spot of whether I win or lose, you know my body, you know who I am, you know what I do. So I can make this look good for both of us either way. So I say Bailey.
Naomi.
Okay, I like that too, though.
Yeah, I think Naomi got to be that person because if you hit up the long-term storytelling, you remember a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown when Chelsea and Piper jumped Naomi.
True.
So
yeah,
go ahead and get that lick back, Naomi. However you want to get it back, just go ahead and get it back. But I would think that would be the person. And I think it would be a good amplifier just as well as Bailey to get that. But I think that Bailey's at a crossroads, and I think that we'll see what happens when it comes to how things will go as far as who's going to be on SmackDown, who's going to be on Raw. Because I'll be real, Raw, Netflix, I'd rather have Bailey over there.
Oh, for sure. And I think to pad the subscriptions through the transfer portal, I definitely see Bailey. I see Bailey, Bianca, and Roman being on Raw the whole month of January, along with John Cena. I would make that my guarantee, but y'all should know that too, and be more than savvy enough to know that that's what's about to happen. So, which you know, I ain't mad at it. You know, run the subs up. It is what it is.
Yeah. Let's move on to Liv Morgan and Io Sky. In that championship match, and Liv Morgan won it clean. Damn, they got a nose broke if it ain't broke by Io Sky, but a dope match nonetheless. And there was no cash-in attempt or anything like that. In fact, Rhea Ripley came out to scare the hell out of Judgment Day. So look, that was as expected. Liv Morgan right now is killing it. Interested to see what will play out on the first Raw, however, because if I stick with my guarantee is that Liv Morgan will lose the belt on the first night of Raw on Netflix. So we'll see how that goes. So we can move on to Gunther versus Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. After Monday, Damian Priest was added to this. And Gunther won clean as fuck.
Yeah. Just the victory he needed too, by the way. I was worried. I'm gonna say this off the rip, and I think the last 2 episodes I was making it kind of plain. I'm not really trying to cheer for Gunther with the rest of the crowd. No.
Hell no.
Like I'm not here for that. And the promo that he cut on Finn Balor was good, but he got a pop, and I was like, yeah, see, this is disgusting to me. I don't like this. So I love the fact that he got back to business. No, I'm beating y'all ass by any means, and I'm walking out of here with my title. And that's who I like to see. I don't care if it's clean. I don't care if it's dirty. I just like the fact that Gunther got back to beating ass on the Saturday night and took his belt home. That's what I want to see. And I don't want to see what I think they're still trying to develop because he pinned Finn Balor.
Yeah, they kill that shit. If they try to do anything, Gunther versus Judgment Day, or Gunther versus Damian Priest, no. After Saturday night's main event, that shit dead. That is about as clean of a win that you could get in a triple threat match as you will see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the way that he ended that match. Power bomb on the stairs. I'm gonna roll my ass up in this ring. Power bomb buddy ass real quick. Get the fuck out my ring. Gunther is the most dominant champion in the WWE right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go ahead and start the program with him and John Cena. Just go ahead and start.
Yeah. And I would rather that, because what I don't want to see them do is, like, now all of a sudden Austin Theory appear out of nowhere and he wants to challenge for the World Heavyweight title, because we already know, well, at least we expect, the expectation is Austin would come in as the heel and Gunther would by default be the face, and that's their way of building him towards that. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, like, the only person at this point right now that I wouldn't mind seeing Gunther in the ring with, but based off of what happened on the last PLE, we don't need it, is Gunther and CM Punk. That's literally the only man right now on Raw,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, that can contend with Gunther based off of what we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
If there was ever a burying somebody without burying them, it was that triple threat match. Because, look, Finn Balor, I think Gunther could lose. Like, Gunther could drop the belt to Finn Balor. Like, I'm not one of those people like, no, he's too small. No.
Yeah.
However, the way that shit looked on Saturday, we straight. Like, nah. If Gunther gonna have to drop it to somebody else, then we could drop it to that person. Like, literally, Finn Balor could get this belt off of John Cena. He can't get it off of Gunther. Finn, you go against him. So that was the way he won. The way he won was surprising to me. And I won't say it's cause for concern. I would say, based on the lack of faces, top faces, in my opinion, on Raw that could challenge Gunther, there's literally no point. Let him take the rest of the year off. Go back to Austria and go chill out. Go kick it with your wife, Jenny. Go do that. Nothing else you need to do for the rest of the year. Like, you took PTO. Like, that's the way Gunther won is the way you take PTO. Knock all that shit out. Have a nice day. Mm-hmm. I'll see y'all on the first episode of Raw on Netflix. That is what Gunther did, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. And I like it. I like it. I think I've had enough suspense from Gunther in 2024. Let's just get back to domination. Like, that's what I'm really here for. To be honest, there is and I'm not saying that everything gotta be a squash match or nothing like that, but again, obviously Gunther great in the ring at any size, pause. But I don't need, all the false pins and the drama and the suspense from his matches. Just like I never needed them from Brock Lesnar matches. I didn't need it. And that's what I'm speaking to. I know he's a fighting champion. Hell, I know he's a champion that can fight. And I'd rather just see that he can fight. and that's then that's fine with me. So yeah, hey, look, if I don't see Gunther until the first Raw of the year, and it's him just talking about how he about to smack the shit out of everybody that's in the Royal Rumble, whoever win, hey, you're a peasant and you shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Your ticket to WrestleMania is gonna get squashed out and ripped up here. I'm here for that.
Yeah. So shouts out to Gunther, your world heavyweight champion, and to me, the most dominant champion in the WWE, because it ain't Cody Rhodes, ladies and gentlemen. But Vince session. Let me just say this. This is the Vince session part of the show. All right, so Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Great match. Cody Rhodes wins with the crossroads on the chair. Nonetheless, he's still your WWE Undisputed Champion. But after the match, after the cameras shut down for network television, Kevin Owens decided to whoop Cody Rhodes' ass.
Hell yeah.
And he dug in the crates and gave him his former finishing move in the Indies and ROH, the Package Piledriver, which was done very effectively, way better than the Piledriver. But Piledrivers, no matter what, yeah. But Piledrivers, no matter what, hey, it gets the job done.
You know what I'm saying? That's what she said.
With that being said, how pissed are you that the WWE did not decide to put the belt on Kevin Owens on Saturday night's main event?
I'm going to go very. And see, this is my problem. This was my original problem. We're bringing back Saturday night's main event. This is my problem. Because all things considered, with respect to Chelsea Green, because that's officially moment of the night. That's officially moment of the night. Nothing got bigger than that. So under the act of really big moment for her, it did not get outshined by absolutely anything. I respect it. But when you talk highlights of Saturday night's main event, they are literal shifts in how you look at wrestling the following week or the following month or leading into WrestleMania. That's what it is. Not what I'm assuming it is. Literally what it is. So I was really upset because now, even with the way Saturday night's main event ended, you know Cody won another match. Like, you know he do. But now he's beating them twice. Hey, and not for nothing. Hey, look, somebody definitely is listening to this podcast because I gotta be the only person that said, will somebody please either get Cody a new finisher or protect his finisher? He's used the crossroads one time for the last 2 or 3 weeks since I've said that. And whether it's been on the chair or the mat, hey, and I'm happy for it. That's fine. But back to the original question, I'm very upset because now y'all trying to tell me that Cody Rhodes is going to go into 2025 2-0 against Kevin Owens, but he still want to fight him. So that means the champion is chasing the challenger for no damn reason. And just in writing continuity, that does not make sense. So that's my biggest beef with that decision. And look, and if this was about not stepping on Chelsea Green moment, then close the show with her or extend the tournament to the first night of Raw on Netflix then.
I'm double pissed. Like, I'm angry because of what happened after the cameras went off.
Mm-hmm.
What was the point? Like, to me, it was no point at all. unless you're going to say, oh, we're going to do something for the first night of Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I said you could have had the return match then, and Cody could have got it back.
Yep.
But to do all of that, look, I'll go as far as saying this, and I don't say this at all. I don't say this, but I will in this case. Kevin Owens has to win the undisputed WWE Championship now.
Mm.
He has to. I would never say that before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that when the whole finish the story shit. Kevin Owens, in my opinion, has to become the undisputed WWE Championship or champion.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what he did afterwards. He just put you on the shelf, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You got into it with Triple H on the way back to Gorilla. This Kevin Owens is supposed to be more aggressive and more angry and all of that because he feels like he's betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah. If Kevin Owens don't get the belt before WrestleMania, I mean, just to drop it. But if he don't get it, then what's the point? And what made it even worse to me is that they brought back the Winged Eagle title. To me, Cam,
Mm-hmm.
that was even more of the reason why Kevin Owens should have won. Triple H and Cody Rhodes did that whole promo about, yo, we bringing this back for Saturday night's main event for one night. You always said you wanted to bring back the Winged Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
You bring it back. How embarrassing would it be for you to lose the match? Bringing back the title for one night that you wanted to bring back. It shows me that you were not focused on Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens took advantage, and he should have did the Piledriver, the package Piledriver, without the referee looking.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Cole, Pat McAfee saying, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Jesse the Body Ventura saying, no, he should have done that. In order for you to win the title, you got to do it by any means necessary. That's what he did.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. The winner and new undisputed WWE champion, Kevin Owens. They didn't do that. So to me, it makes everything afterwards mean nothing unless Kevin Owens wins it.
And on top of your point, that's a Saturday night's main event moment. That's what's supposed to happen. It's Saturday night's main event. The title is on the line. The referee gets knocked out. And what does Kevin Owens do? He does the package Piledriver, and Cody can't move or get up. And then another ref comes down to the ring, but Cody can't move anyway. So he pins him and wins the title. It looks like highway robbery with Jesse the Body Ventura putting over that guy, saying, well, what do you expect, Gene? But it would be Cole. And then and you're like, you got to win the title. It's about checks and championships. Like literally everything about what happened after the show normally happens on the show. That is the gripe. That is the gripe from the people that lived it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's, again, why I'm upset. And to me, what happened that you can see on social media and YouTube means nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
If Kevin Owens don't win the championship, this could have been your Andre and Hulk moment. This could have been your James Buster Douglas moment. This could have been your Hulk Hogan, Don Morocco, King Kong Bundy moment.
Mm-hmm.
shit, this could have been your snake moment, Cobra snake moment. Like you said, Saturday night's main event is about the moments.
Yeah.
When you go on Peacock and you look at the majority of these Saturday night's main events, there's moments attached to most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's moments that lead to a bigger change.
Yeah.
So when I saw all of that, I was just like, and the way that Cody won. It's like, yo, you could have did the package power driver. And he could have won.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah.
There you go. What a miscarriage of justice. What the hell is going on? And Kevin Owens hold up the winged eagle belt, the belt that Cody said he wanted to bring back, the belt that they did the promo saying one night only, which is damn near like you acting like you gonna bring this bitch back.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't. What an embarrassment. Now you got to go get it back.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a whole lot better to do than what they did. So my second question to you is, I mean, we know where we at now. Could KO still win a championship?
Since they're telling the story out of order, yes. See, as I just dig into my just childhood wrestling brain, there's two more opportunities for Kevin Owens to win the championship. One of them is the first night on the Raw on Netflix. And then two is the Royal Rumble right before the Men's Royal Rumble starts. Or right after. You know, there's like, hey, we were all planning on Cody Rhodes being one of the options, but no. Kevin Owens or Gunther could be your selections for the title. And the thing is, what you have with Kevin Owens is he's got to start stringing together some wins, because I also thought even if it made more sense for him to win last night and then maybe lose it at the Royal Rumble, but he can't now win the title. Let's say for instance, like he wins the first night on Raw because Cody just goes against doctor's orders and he wants the match right here on Netflix, right? Kevin Owens beats him. The way they got this shit set up, Kevin Owens is then in turn probably just going to lose it at the Royal Rumble to somebody else. And because they don't have a story in place to where it makes sense for him to get it alive. Because you know the next person up for the title, by default, Solo Sikoa. That's who's next. And you think that Solo Sikoa is going to lose to Kevin Owens when Jacob Fatu is healthy and is going to show up at the arena? No. Do you think it's smart to get the third person in line to beat him at the Royal Rumble? Because you know who that is. Roman Reigns. There is no better option for him to do this after he beats Cody after being down 0-2. That's where they messed this up. Because they haven't even put him in another situation to where you're going to win this title, and then now what? Because Randy Orton ain't back either. And while I do believe that when it's that time, they might split a trilogy, but I still got Randy Orton coming on top of that to face John Cena. So now that's the next 90 days for Kevin Owens. The way they got this book, with him technically only winning one match.
Yeah, and that's That's why I'm blown. That's why I'm blown. I think, matter of fact, Russ, you said what I was going to say. Have him hold that belt until no later than Elimination Chamber. I didn't think of Sammy, but have somebody cost him the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is Sammy, because then you lead to Sammy versus Kevin at WrestleMania. Maybe that is the case. But now, I don't think that's even. I think we're going to have Kevin Owens 303. Like, I really believe at this point now, Kevin Owens is going to lose every opportunity to win the belt. And they're going to use that as fuel to him taking it out on his former friend, Sami Zayn. They're going to use that when they could go and say, hey, Elimination Chamber, Cody got the belt back because Sami Zayn cost him the belt. Matter of fact, Kevin Owens wasn't even in the final 2 in Elimination Chamber. You could do that. But I hate to be that guy, because I'm normally not that guy, but I'll be that guy today. I think the WWE dropped the ball by not giving Kevin Owens the belt, especially if you listen to that crowd. That was a good size amount of people in that crowd that was saying you deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. That crowd last night, they wanted 2 things: for all the Canadians to leave with belts.
Yeah.
They wanted Chelsea Green, Kevin Owens to leave as your world and U.S. champions. That's what that crowd wanted.
And I think that would have been a good time to do it. And to me, it's the moment is dead to me at this point of trying to give Kevin Owens the belt. I think it's dead. Even with Triple H's reaction, Triple H shouldn't react to that if Kevin Owens don't win the belt just because he took the belt with him. Like, nah. Triple H don't react that way if he don't get the belt. He reacts that way when he did that move to get the belt. The internet is pushing a 3-man power trip type of situation where it's Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens, who is united by their anger with Roman Reigns. Is that something that you would like to see?
No, sir. Nope. Nope. Because I like the energy of fuck y'all being the entire bloodline. And now that you ain't got the bloodline, now I'm about to get on my shit. Like, because I think that's a better story, because the tables have already turned on Roman Reigns from a faction standpoint, right? But now I don't want to see makeshift factions. Like, I don't like the storylines of an enemy of my enemy is a friend for one night only. I'm not really into that. I'm into the payback is a bitch and I will be back. And we're gonna do some fucking. That's what I like. So for me, when
it's like we gonna do some fucking.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I like the fact that Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, they got the same story, but a different reason for the story. Like, Kevin Owens' thing is, I tried to stop the tribal chief from even happening and getting this far. Drew McIntyre's story is, the bloodline cost me cementing my legacy. Seth Rollins is, I very well could have started all of this shit 10 years ago. But I get it. And that's why I gotta get them out of here. Like now I gotta finish the job I started. Those are three very compelling storylines that don't need to be blended together. So I am I don't want any clicking up. You know what I'm saying? I get it, and it does make sense. But again, even if they decide to click up, hey, look, he just got the OG bloodline together minus Solo. and got CM Punk as a favor because of the wise man. That ain't in y'all favor either. So no, stick to your script. Stick to your finish your story, guys, individually.
No, I don't want that. Main reason why I don't want it because I think it would affect the WrestleMania main event that I predicted, which is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to try to kill what he birthed 10 years ago. CM Punk could very well be like, y'all came off of my back. Pause. I need to end y'all both. And I need to be in the main event of WrestleMania. I've never done that. Leave Cody versus Randy Orton without the belt. I don't think that, low key, I don't think that Cody Rhodes should come in to WrestleMania with a belt.
Okay.
Like, no, I think that one of the three, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, they should be the undisputed WWE champ. And Gunther keeps his belt and he goes up against John Cena. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, that's a main event level match. It ain't the last match of the card. It could be that Randy Savage, Ric Flair main event halfway in the card.
I got you.
But to me, those are your main events: Roman, Seth, CM Punk, and John Cena versus Gunther.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Man, the 3-man weave, the 3-man power trip. No, you can kick rocks on that. That's just me though. Which leads to before we get out of here. So I'm officially calling it NetflixMania.
NetflixMania.
And NetflixMania have announced their first match, which is Roman Reigns challenging Solo Sikoa for the Fala and Tribal title, excuse me. What a match, considering everything that's going on with the OG bloodline and the new bloodline, and Jimmy basically saying that this shit is dead and I got to focus on me, only to get Claymored. Roman Reigns versus Solo for the Fala and the Tribal Chief title on the first night of Netflix. Is this one of those main event quality matches? And what are your thoughts overall about the match?
Main event quality match. It's almost there. 75% there. Maybe even lower than 50% when I say what I'm about to say. But look, you want to do it for me. You want to make this extra special. You want to make this Fala mean everything and do the perfect callback. I think this is the perfect callback. I don't know. I could be wrong. So please correct me if I'm wrong. I need this in Hell in a Cell. I need the cell to be red. Because if I remember right, first time I saw this Fala, it was when the OGs came out after Roman beat Jay. And this is the first time I seen it around his neck. And I was like, oh, okay, they're going all the way with this. So for me, That's what I want to see. And that is NetflixMania in my world. That is NetflixMania in my world. Because to me, that's night one of WrestleMania for me. Only because Solo isn't Cody Rhodes to push it to night two yet. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with it. If this is just a regular exhibition match with that on the line, then okay. But this should be Hell in a Cell, because that is the first time I remember seeing the Ula Fala, and he was ironically fighting another cousin when that first time I saw that as well.
Yeah. This goes to my guarantee. This match don't matter if The Rock don't come out. Just don't.
Good point.
Roman Reigns wins the match.
Good job.
And then you hear The Rock's music. And you hear The Rock basically start calling himself his high chief name. And telling Roman to acknowledge him as the high chief. That's the only thing that matters to me. If Jimmy just said that the OG is no more and everybody's going their separate ways, then why does this Ula Fala matter in the first place?
Right. Yeah, hey, that's a great question because, like, so he about to inherit Tama Tonga and Jacob if he win, or do if Roman Reigns wins, Solo back to being the right hand, and like now it's them four. Yeah, you gotta give me something else. You gotta give me something else. You're right. You got me. You're right.
Which goes into the thought I had earlier when you start talking. Or maybe Drew McIntyre comes up in the match and gets his revenge. If The Rock ain't gonna be there, the only thing that I can see happening is what you said. Oh, wait a minute, what? They both here tonight? Claymores for both of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And maybe since Jimmy just told us that the OG bloodline is dead, then maybe Roman and Solo is like, yo, we got this big ass dude who won't leave us alone. He beating up family. We got to get off this bullshit. Family first. I bet for now. So if you can't get The Rock, Drew McIntyre is your best case scenario of making sure that this match does not finish clean. In my opinion.
Yeah, hey, I'm not mad at that. It makes a whole lot of sense. In retrospect, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Because the other part to that, to me, too, is that Drew McIntyre is beating up all of the family members.
Yeah.
Somebody got to be like, nah, fam, nah, we ain't on that. A dude trying to pick us off one by one. Nah, we gotta get off this bullshit because this Scottish dude crazy.
Yeah.
They call him the Scottish psychopath for a reason.
And he don't care who cheering for y'all or not.
At all. So let's make sure that this happens. Let's make sure that we protect the family. And then that's when you can have Jimmy and Jay and Sammy like, you sure? I got this. Either way it go, I think that if The Rock is all in and he ain't got no engagements from now until WrestleMania, at NetflixMania, he has to come out and say he's the high chief. You saw that on that chart, Roman. Yeah. High chief. You're not. family still run through me, Jack.
Yeah,
And then
especially now.
Right. And then Roman says, all right, we can fight for it. And that's what that leads to. So you put them two in a non-title, but with huge stipulations match.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to what I had said earlier. Then you got the situation where what you gonna do with everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
if that's the case. It definitely knocks off my theory or potential match, which I would insert Cody in there if I have to remove Roman. Cody could get his mini side fuse out the way. We got to take care of big boy business. But yeah, that match has to end in controversy.
I dig it. And you know, hey, all of this, it's also cool because of all the real life ties into this. Because now, you know, because condolences and rest in peace, Rikishi and The Rock are the oldest living OGs.
I think so.
To like the active wrestling family OGs. Yeah.
And remember, long-term storytelling. I did this for you, Rock.
Yeah. Hey, listen. If it's this is it. 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 Yeah, that's it.
Nah, fam, it ain't really over for you yet. You still got a little bit to go. But we'll see. Anything that you saw that leads to a guarantee that you might have?
Man, to be honest, no. But I'm going to throw one out there right now because I just believe in wild card stuff. So right now, my guaranteed theory, if you will, is that LA Knight is one of the front runners to win the Royal Rumble. And that looks crazy. Sounds crazy today. But
goddamn, Russ. My ideas. Well, kind of.
I'm not out the woods on that yet. I know it's going to be difficult to make it make sense right now, but I definitely got LA Knight being in the final four of the Royal Rumble as of today.
My guarantee is based off of long-term storytelling and how Punk like to do shit like the Hearts. My guarantee is that CM Punk will win the Royal Rumble. But the other piece to that is I also believe that CM Punk and Seth Rollins will be 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
So you can see them fight each other. When new people come in, they get them the fuck out. Get back to fighting each other again. Then more people come. So then you split them off a bit. The final four is Seth Rollins. It is Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso. And that's when you get everything starting to happen. But yeah, that's it. Like CM Punk loves to do the Hart Foundation shit. Yeah. Love to watch old Bret Hart tapes and say, let's finish like this. But it might not have been Bret, but Davey Boy Smith, Shawn Michaels were 1 and 2. And it led to one of the more controversial endings in Royal Rumble history. and you could go ahead and continue all of this going throughout the rest of the spring.
Mm.
And there you have it. Well,
Dig it.
hey, man, good recapping of Saturday night's main event. The next one is in January. But that was the last big WWE event of the year. Everything else is just going to be Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, man. Hey, and you know, enough for nothing. That's how it should be. I mean, again, I still as we're in the episodic era of television and now for 30 years, I mean, I'll never truly think that they're gonna bat 1,000 for every single Raw, every single SmackDown, every single PLE, and now Saturday night's main event. But hopefully we get more into the moment, capturing business, because I do think that is important. Hey, look, not for nothing, if y'all want us to give grades for the show, Saturday night's main event, from a nostalgic piece, I'd give it a solid A. But for the actual program, I ain't gonna lie. Even though I was super happy about the Chelsea Green moment, I'm gonna say C+. Just being honest, because there were some other story things that could have happened to made it more extra special. I feel like in a lot of ways they just gave y'all retro WWE 2K show setup and then just hit simulation, just to be honest with you. So,
well, we will see what happens. That first Netflix show is coming right up, and I'm sure there's going to be a number of matches that are announced in these next couple of weeks. But until then, let's get ready for Rock and Solo. Finishes off, Kent.
You know what, man? Appreciate y'all hanging out with us this late afternoon to check out the FBC POD, man. Listen, all of you and your contributions to our community, whether you just got here or you've been here for 7 years and 6 months, we appreciate it, man. And we thank you. We thank you wholeheartedly. Obviously, Bang and I could do this show without the interaction, but your likes, comments, shares, questions during the screen. Yeah, you're spoiling our spoilers and our thoughts, like the homie G Russ here, man. Hey, look, we appreciate it, man. We thank y'all so much. We're extremely grateful for you tuning in. And just know that if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, that you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Pick VP, DOC, and we are out. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.